All right, we'll do some Millionaire Biotechs, possibly. I am liking Traws Pharma, okay? And I've been liking Traws Pharma, 26% in the week. They are very volatile. The month, quarter, but as we can see, struggles they've had. Some struggles for sure. But could they mean the struggles no more? Okay, wait. Well, they did have revenue from their last, but it was for this oncology licensing termination. They got 2.7 for that. And here's what I'm looking for, though. Their pipeline, okay? An oral inhibitor for the COVID antiviral. Kennedy likes antivirals. I just think that's a good sign. And being prepared for phase 2 clinical trials. Results are expected by the end of 2025. This could be a nice catalyst, people. A very nice one. Or a horrible dump. We're not sure. And then this, South Korea and Australia, and Type D FDA meeting underway for this antiviral for bird flu. And you could even say there, wait a minute, this would be their last one. When you're talking about this bird flu thing, I think they could also get the stockpiles in America because they have meetings with the FDA under Kennedy's. So, and then reducing loss, the revenue, can't really trust it because really that came from selling this oncology thing. And these oncology assets are no longer central to the antiviral strategy, but are being actively marketed for licensing or partnership. So that could be something else that comes up, licensing or partnership. But a terminated license agreement led to recognition of deferred revenue, 2.7. So that's what. But I still think, I don't know. I like the fact that the FDA is interested in this. If they do this stockpile thing, that could definitely. This was from May 27th. Traws Pharma announced receipt FDA guidance of Tivozazar, Marxable, and reports plans for pursuing stockpiling for pandemic preparedness. This would be this bird flu, seasonal flu, including the use of the animal rule. See, the animal rule is intended to provide a path to approval in situations where human clinical studies would be unethical or impractical. Basically because it's bird flu, so they don't know if they'd be able to even do human studies on them, and they're trying to do it as a stockpile. And all right, we also are going to have Geovax, and Geovax most certainly looks like shit, and people on X talk a lot of shit about Geovax, but I think that they are going to have a favorite in the Kennedy administration because they post about Kennedy, well, not technically Kennedy, but they post about things the FDA is doing, and they lost their BARDA funding, and then right after that, Kennedy fired the entire place. So, I don't know, I just think there's something suspicious about it. And upgraded to a buy. I don't know who though. But forecast, how do they have a $9 price target? All right, wait. They do have a nice pipeline. And revenue, 0.85 million, more than doubling from 0.30. They do have R&D expenses, high there. But 2.5, an increase from 300,000. 10.7 million due to increased R&D expenses. That's kind of why they do a lot of dilutions. But this was not, wait a minute, received 45 million from Biotechs to support involving 10,000 trial aims, is that it got defunded in April, but then this would be new funding for June. So you could say that is excellent for June. And the development guidance from the European medicines allowing a bypass of phase 1 and phase 2 clinical. That could be very big. The Europe monkeypox vaccine, Mpox. And innovation, modified vaccine, MVA, revenue projections, 2.3 decrease, projected significant increase to 304 million, contingent on successful clinical trials and subsequent product approvals. Well, that could really be crazy, couldn't it? If everything works out well for Geovax, they could really do something. But, of course, the cash balance. They did do the previous stock offerings led to dilution. But, I mean, how low could they go? I mean, they're really at Geovax Lab, advancing its pipeline, particularly in areas of COVID and Mpox. Company secured significant funding, received favorable guidance. Its financial health and success trial will be critical in determining its trajectory in 2025. So, Geovax, definitely, I think, one to be watching, even though they are an absolute disaster at the moment. That's for sure. And now we have onto the eyes. Ocugen. They're going to be at a biotech, this conference, H.C. Wainwright, September 8th to September 10th. Today's September 6th. And here we have them. Now, if we look, their month, 4%, 80%, not 80 in the past 6 months. And then year to date, not good for the year. But are they coming back? Let's see. This will be a big deal. And then here, Ocugen reported revenue 1.3 million, marking 20% year-over-year increase. Operating costs declined. That would be good thing. Well, sometimes it's not, because then that means they're not working at things. But here's what they have going. This is their retinal pigmentomas. Phase 3, with enrollment ongoing and a targeted BLA filing in 2026, holds ATMP designation Europe, streamlining regulatory review. A Korean licensing deal provides up to 11 million in upfront milestone payment. Worldwide. I like a worldwide biotech. Phase 2 of 3 pivotal trial has commenced dosing, holds rare pediatric disease designation. That gives them high priority for our FDA. Interim phase 2 showing 27% cellular lesion growth, preserve vision. Selected, I don't know how that would be. Also doing COVID, I guess. Everybody does that. Anyways, Ocugen intends to spin off. This, I wasn't so big on that, the spin off. But they will still, when it's saying the company is shifting R&D, they're still going to get profit off of this, retaining over 50% of the equity, but now they don't have to pay for it. So that is another thing. H.C. Wainwright, target, now it's a 7 with a buy rating. I think, and also, they have a platform. So, a modified gene therapy platform. Speaking of gene therapy, I will do those in a second. This platform uses nuclear hormone receptors to reset homeostasis in the retina. Unlike the traditional gene therapy that replace specific mutated gene, Ocugen reports targets gene network regulation. This is also why it's innovative. Rather than targeting, it focuses on broader cellular benefits. One candidate has garnered orphan medical product designation in Europe. So, not technically an AI platform, a biological and molecular, not computational or algorithm. It's best described as a modifier, a gene therapy platform. That is exciting for a biotech. All right, then we have Prime Medicine. And people on X, they're liking Prime. Now they went on a real up. But then they did a dilution. So this was a mighty fine rise, people. Mighty fine there. And now they are maintaining $3 range. They didn't go back. They didn't even go to the $2 range. So, but remember, we have long roads here, Biotechs. I do feel like I have to say that a lot. But Prime Editing referred as CRISPR 3.0, allows precise insertion, deletion, and replacement of DNA sequences without causing double-strand breaks. Method offers greater accuracy, few off-target effects. Applications focus on ex vivo T-cell therapies and genetic disorders. They have received FDA clearance for its investigational new drug IND application targeting chronic granulomatous disease. But wait, the other thing? Now, they had an 18 price target. Then it was cut to 5. But still, I mean, sometimes I think giving biotechs these crazy double-digit ratings when they're not even there is misleading, actually. And then they did an offering, which clearly people didn't like. That was the one from a month ago. And this is Prime Medicine.
Here at Montreal Saint-Justin Hospital, it was used to correct directly in the patient's hematopoietic stem cells, a genetic mutation responsible for chronic granulomatous disease, CGD. The gene editing technology was part of an international clinical trial.
By day 15, we could see that it worked. 50% of the cells were corrected. And by day 45, 66% of the cells were corrected. And if you tell me tomorrow that I do a bone marrow transplantation and I correct 66% of the cells, I would say, oh, that's a success.
Normal treatment for CGD is similar for certain leukemias where a patient's bone marrow is destroyed with...
That this could be a very interesting guy, but obviously they definitely have a long road, and this would be the guy. Prime Medicine played a pivotal role, application, pediatric immune, so kid cancer. People, I think that's important. I might even say that was probably part of their catalyst that shot them up this first human patient. So I think, and then if we compare them to another one I like, we also have GBIO, Generation Bio, and they really surprised me because these guys, they had a reverse split, and I didn't think at all that it would work out well, because normally it doesn't. And right around there, they're low. That's when they had the reverse split. So they would have been around the 45 cent range. And now, here we have them here. So they're a closed-ended delivered lipid, I don't know exactly, but another one, initially focused on liver disease, Generation Bio has expanded its platform to target immune cells through collaborations with companies like Moderna. Oh yeah, Prime has some too, partnerships there. But wait, this was when Prime secured the funding, including $6 million, validating its gene editing technology. Entered the partnership with Bristol Myers Squibb. That's pretty big, potentially worth $3.5 billion, including $110 million up front. All of these things ride on, obviously, everything working to plan. The partner with Moderna developed non-viral genetic medicines, including options for immune cell and liver programs. The collaboration includes $40 million upfront payment. Those are important, and $36 million equity investment. Developed immune quiet DNA, a variant that innate immune detection, enhancing the tolerability of their therapies. Now, that one's going to be for Prime. A lead demonstrating durable expression, preclinical, advancing collaborations. There we go. And then here would be their comparisons. Prime editing CRISPR, non-viral. I don't exactly know what these means. Key collaborations, lead indications. Durable redosable gene therapies. Interesting, people. Very interesting. This was one of GBIO's announces new data for its novel delivery, and they reported their second quarter. Significant developments in its cell lipid target delivery system. Company achieved breakthrough with first ever siRNA delivery to cells in non-human primates, demonstrating selective delivery and potent lockdown of target proteins. Despite advances, implementing a strategic restructuring, including 90% workforce reduction. Well, they're probably replacing with AI. The company has retained TD to explore strategic alternatives, including potential merger, acquisition, or asset sale. Financial highlights include cash position $141 million, QT net loss of $20 million, settle lease litigation for $31 million. We'll see what they do. The reduction, they could, if they did a merger, that would be exciting. But I wouldn't want a bio. That would kind of suck. Well, I guess it depends what the bio was. Because even after a reverse split, that's the only reverse split that's ever done me well, I swear. Well, that quickly. TNXP, they had done me well. Cooler, hopefully will do me well. And I think GBIO definitely has. Gains after a reverse split is rare that fast. However, announcement, this coupled with, I don't know, we'll see. But it doesn't seem like that seems to mind. Because that was from their earnings that everybody liked. We shall see. All right, and then I wouldn't make a biotech video without Humacyte, my sweet baby Humacyte. Oh my God, how they've been forsaken. This is when they were expected, that was back when they were expected to get the FDA approval. If I go even further back, the horror, but things are getting better. Things are picking up for Humacyte, even though, well, right now it does not look like that. But they had these insider selling for liquidity purposes, it's saying. But then, look at this, people. Okay, this is the National Defense Authorization Act. And if we go to, I want to go to page 7 there. Hold on. Here, they're going to talk about Humacyte. They're not going to mention it by name, but those in the know that the vascular repair technology successfully deployed to the frontline hospitals and active conflict zones and austere have resulted in FDA-approved innovations that present new opportunities to enhance care for sustained on the battlefield, if this is to be shipped out. Because what they're talking about is the vascular trauma repair, which has gotten investment from the Pentagon in the past years, and a purchase, which was not the biggest purchase, but as you can see, they also have their dialysis here, and the dialysis is big because this is a strategic partnership with Fresenius, and Fresenius, their specialty here is kidney dialysis. So this partnership leverages Fresenius' global presence to introduce Humacyte's innovative technology to patients worldwide. It's only a matter, people. Only a matter. That one will be big. Military sale, another one, a big one. That could be another big one. But Humacyte, people, I'm a fan. And then another one, LXRX. I go over this one a lot, but They have potential catalysts coming in October. Same with this other one I'm going to do, Evax. But they're going to be doing some data. And I should say, Humacyte's ratings, people. All buys. Well, I think Wall Street's on those dicks game of sell. But if we go to here. Total revenue, 301,000 for the quarter, 800,000. Sales and collaborative, 82 civilian hospitals have VAC approval to purchase Invest. People, it's a slow road, but I think the commercial U.S. launch, 82 civilian hospital eligible to purchase, substantial increase from the 5 hospitals that were eligible to purchase last quarter. Tremendous increase is due to a combination of individual hospital and healthcare system value analysis committee approvals. In addition, a recent inclusion on the electronic catalog, ECAT, means approximately 190 military treatment facilities and U.S. Department are eligible to purchase Invest. And Humacyte, this would be the other one. Our VO07 trial data was one of the 3 presentations selected for mention of the vascular surgery in June. ATAI was observed to have superior. This one's for the kidney one. So we do want that. I do want that. Moving on. Sorry. Lexicon Pharmaceuticals announces exclusive license. This is what I'm most bullish on LXRX for. This Novo Nordisk. If Novo Nordisk, they want them to develop a weight loss pill for them. And if this weight loss pill were able to receive $1 billion in upfront development regulatory sales, and they got the $75 million, so I do indeed like that. And weight loss pills, people, everybody wants them. Nobody wants to shoot them in their butts anymore. As you can see, that's what got them this revenue. It's very, very, very. I get nervous about it, but certainly a risk. But they do have this too. There's Zolpidem, whatever that would say, ongoing phase 3. That one had not the best data, which really did not do them well come November. But I also think just general sentiment towards Biotechs really dipped after Trumperton got arrested and got elected. But phase 2 dose optimization study. This type 2 diabetes company, the exclusive license agreement with Viatris for Zolpidem in all markets outside of US and Europe, receiving upfront payment of $25 million. That, I think, is things that could be exciting for LXRX. And this is another one that could definitely do something exciting for them. Okay, they're going to present the preclinical data on the chemotherapy-induced pain and multiple sclerosis pain. Dude, lots of people have multiple sclerosis and cancer pain. The company will present the data demonstrating the reduction of neuropathic pain. That is what neuropathic, what was the non-opioid? That was TNXP. But they're not pennies talking anymore. This could definitely do something. If they can get the finding, so it's going to be, oh man, next week, this week. Wait a minute. They already did it. The conference was already held. Why didn't anyone say anything about it? No one cared. Wait, let's see what it said. Wait a minute. The data might have came out today. Today is September 6th, and they are in Germany. So the data delivered on Saturday. Yes. An investigational once daily organ novel targeted. Importantly, Plavida does not affect opioid pathways. Ooh, people like that. The encouraging preclinical results presented at New PSIG underscore the potential. So if this just came out today, and it looks like this, 2 days ago they had it here, but they would have just delivered it today. Announced it will present new clinical. Wait, this is not it. So I asked ChatGPT, and it is saying that this will. So I think that LXRX could have a nice catalyst come Monday. I guess we shall see. Speaking of data that could be exciting, we have this one, Evaxion, and they're clearly on a down, but 9% for the month, 13. I think they have room to fly, people. And Evax is going to have leveraging its AI immunology platform to deliver personalized vaccines targeting cancer and infectious disease. I think this company could really have They have their phase 2 trial completion. All patients, including dosing phase 2, a personalized cancer vaccine targeting melanoma. The company is set to present 2-year clinical efficacy data. This could almost make Iova obsolete. Maybe. Well, Iova, this takes a while, and Iova really has things going. That's another biotech I like. But expanding vaccine candidate, developing underscores. I don't know what these words are. Leading pharmaceutical in expanding its preclinical bacterial vaccine pipeline. I always see it on Instagram. They're constantly talking about how bacteria is getting worse and worse and worse and killing more and more people. But anyways, of course, modest operating loss. That's to be expected. But people, they have a partnership with MSD, Merck Sharp, Dole, focusing on 2 vaccine candidates, infectious disease. Gates, that shady motherfucker. We know who he is. Okay. 2-year efficacy data will be presented. Now, here's the upcoming catalyst that I think could be very exciting. October. And here is a Stack Titan article about it. Clinical biotech, focus companies. Chief Scientific Officer, interim, Birgit Roland highlighted that the 2-year pilot has been selected for an oral presentation at ESMO Congress in October. We could see something, people. If people really like it, then I think they could do something. I think I want to do a big stake in these guys. I think Evaxion exchange stakeholders, including potential partners, events taking place in both US, Europa, Asia. Many opportunities to liaise with global audiences as part of our strategy to identify potential partners and opportunities for both business partnerships and scientific collaborations. I think this one is an exciting one, people. And mid-October, we could see something very nice. All right, then. Not so much biotech, but biotech equipment, you could say. We have Hyperfine, and they're doing okay, and they're going to have this portable MRI machine. 2.7 increase, 27%, although 24% decline in revenue. They have been trying their FDA clearance for the next generation Swoop system and Optiv AI software, completion of a pilot neurology office program, and enrollment of the 100 patient in the neuro-PMR study. AI technology demonstrated 100% sensitivity in detecting Alzheimer's patients. I think that these RERE, I don't know. Management projects 10 to 20% revenue, so I guess you could say definitely a slower one. But I have a little hope for this guy. I think they could do some interesting things. I have calls for them going into January, which I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have a catalyst by then. We could see. FDA clearances, the next gen Swoop, so successful completion, neurology office pilot program. The 100 patient was big. So I guess this is another little guy that if this takes off, we could really see something. And Alzheimer's, nobody wants that. And finding that could definitely, I like them. And I'm a fan of IXHL. I think that these guys, they were really having some shoots because their catalyst was going to be they did go down after when they had their real height. They did a dilution, which people didn't like. But here they have their obstruction sleep apnea, phase 2 to 3, completing dosing of over 120 across 11 clinical sites. Top line data. Wait a minute. Data was most definitely promising. That would have been their July 30th. Yeah. Well, wait. Then they kept going up. Oh, wait. The data would have came out and then they went down? Oh, wait. Yeah, because they did the dilution. And then up 83% baseline, indicating substantial reduction in sleep disorder breathing events. A lot of people have sleep apnea, I think. And underway with U.S.-based sites enhance. And then this one would be the rheumatoid arthritis. The combination of the cannabinoid aims to modulate immune response, and cannabis is definitely, you could say, trending. Another trending one that I like, there's psilocybin-assisted psychotherapy. Completed dosing for all patients, anticipated in the coming months. So that will be certainly a catalyst to look for. Other ones that have one, Silo could have one too. If they go into Silo's lead asset, the SPC15, an intranasal post-traumatic stress disorder. Good laboratory practice compliant, toxicology, animal studies underway. FDA requested a 7-day safety study, large animal study focusing on safety and toxicology, as requested by the FDA, has been completed. They could be close. And they plan to submit the IND application for SP15 by the end of 2025, assuming positive results from the ongoing preclinical studies. If it's approved, the FDA, with standard 30-day review, the company anticipates the phase 1 trial to begin before the end of 2026. So that is definitely a little catalyst for Silo. They certainly need it, because blah, blah, blah. Other ones that I like in this sector, the psychedelic therapy sector, Compass people, I do indeed like Compass. And then you would have ATAI, and then GHRS, Cybin. God damn, no clinical trials. Ooh, speaking of that, one that makes me mad, you could also add Santa in this list. They are going to do that inlet diabetes therapy. If they can get that, China does it. This was one of Santa's highs, so they're definitely on a low. But Santa, I think, is another interesting one. Not psychedelics. It's the inlet, Santa, inlet diabetes. I don't think I did it right. Inslet. This was from June when they were on a real high. Islet cell transplantation without immuno. If they can do this, I think definitely something exciting for Santa. I forgot one. Wait, I would also, for these AI platforms, this one has an AI antibody finder, ABCL. I'm a big fan of these guys too. I think, and they've had a big gain. Man, oh man, down in the $2 range. Not anymore. And investors advancing into phase 1 trials for the atopic dermatitis. Hey, is this new? Because if it is, that's today, September 6th. Oh, well, recently announced. Phase 1. I think their biggest claim to fame is definitely licensing drugs at this antibody that their AI platform can find. Because internal pipeline into late-stage trial, eventual market approval, overcoming considerable risk of clinical translation, ongoing financial losses. Other recent, you have received many regulatory milestone is ideally timed to reinforce case around their pipeline. And these AbbVie expanded partnership, these would be their licensing and partnership deals. I think that's a big deal. Moderna, Gilead, Novartis, Eli Lilly, a long-term partner. So ABCL, and I would also LXRX. I think LXRX is going to do things in AI medicine. On an AI-driven pipeline updates. What does Quiver tell us? This one. Center on the company's advancements in AI-driven drug discovery. Recent pipeline updates. Many users intrigued by their technology to revolutionize the biotech space. If they could get something with the FDA, that would be definitely a risk for LXRX. This is back when they had said they were going to replace animal testing with AI. Could this be a win for LXRX and remember, NVIDIA back, recursion, back when they were soaring. But I still think, I think that these guys, even their drug pipeline is not the best. I think their claim to fame is their AI platform.